Manticore Lair is one of my favorite nests from the original game. With its evolution, new mechanics were added, making it a little bit confusing on your first few attempts.
A few moments later.
The mini-bosses are quite fair, but knowing what to do will make things run smoother. Let's step right into it on this video. Hey adventurers, James here. Welcome to my channel. I do gaming content mainly on guides and builds for Dragoness 2 Evolution. Please also make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. For this lair, we have 2 mini bosses and 1 boss that you have to beat to finish this lair. We started off with the Minotaur boss, which is basically the same as the Minotaur Lair boss, but with a few gimmicks. His normal attacks, which are side axe slashes, are quite easy to evade for tanks. Just move away from him. It's best to bring him towards a wall to keep him from moving too much. His first special attack is his axe wave, where he slams the axe downwards, creating slash waves around him. Just distance yourself or just evade it. He also does an axe barrage, where he starts by placing his axe behind him and throws a lot of mini axes in the air. There will be circle warnings which you just have to walk away from. If you are the aggro, just keep walking away from the team until he stops throwing. From time to time, he also does a roar which doesn't do much damage, so use this opening for strong attacks. At around bar 5, mini Minotaurs are summoned with 3 different auras. The best way to manage this is by clumping them together with the boss and hitting them together. Or you can completely separate them from the boss. Personally, it's better to clump them together since the buffs don't do much. There are 3 different auras, blue for defense, red for attack, and green for healing. The only real threat is the green one, especially if your team doesn't damage fast enough. Best to isolate and slay it right away. The second one is the Medusa Naga, which is quite strong and can off you if you aren't careful. Her normal attacks are a little hard to dodge because of her weapon range. Best to distance yourself if you are the tank or have the aggro. She also has a combo attack that's a series of slashes, which hurt you quite a bit. Avoid the best you can and evade from the last charge slash. If she hides her blades and starts forming a cloud above her, that means she's summoning a poison tornado on each player. Just walk away from the Naga and away from the team. When she forms a cloud and a triangular warning pops out, it will do a poison wave. Just move away from the red warning area. She also has a second and more aggressive version which is faster and harder to avoid. When she puts all 4 blades behind her and she forms clouds around her, she shoots out waves of poison around her 360. To avoid it, just stay away from her and stay in between the waves. When you see the yellow gauge gets full and her icon glows, that means she will be doing her toxic fog. That's the signal you should position at the center of the map and wait for the safe zone to appear. Run to it immediately and heal up. Range attackers can still attack safely. The Manticore Overlord Clamus. His normal attacks, which are slashes, might be a bit hard to avoid because of his range. Tanks should just keep walking away while the rest should attack as much as they can. He also has a charged version which hits a bit harder, but it's also a little easier to avoid because of its charge time. You can avoid it by walking away from the cone-shaped red warning. When you see a red warning in front of him, he could be summoning dark orbs. Simply walk away from it. Just note that these dark orbs stay for a duration, hit hard, and have some suction, especially at bar 3 onwards. When he looks like he's about to do a roar, he glows and starts to summon dark mines. You will see red warnings which you have to avoid, and just continue to avoid the mines because they explode after some time. He does a dash attack early on the game. He will most likely run towards a wall. Just avoid it when you see his dash animation. While he is facing the wall, cone warnings from behind him will pop out. He does a wind tail whip that does some damage. Just avoid the warnings and you should be safe. From here on out, start observing his gauge. When the gauge is full and his icon glows, he will unleash a storm. The damage isn't terrible, so you can just ultimate since he doesn't move around during this attack. Healer should cast heals to keep the team healthy. When you are somewhere around the 5th bar, he will fly up. There will be a golem summon, but you just ignore it and avoid his boulders. During this phase, you have to bring the whirlwinds that constantly spawn around you to blow away the black mist. If you are using higher end graphics, you can see a translucent black mist. If your graphics aren't as high, just look at the floor and notice a light yellow outline. If your character gets silenced, then you are on top of it. There are about 5 or 6 of these that you have to clear so that the Manticore flies back down. You then trigger phase 2, where he unleashes a storm whenever the yellow bar reaches 50%. There's a small safe area around him, so stay close to him. It's best to stay within the area so you don't take much damage. There will be some silent spots here, so to keep safe, just put your whirlwinds inside. When the gauge is full, he does an energy blast phase. When you notice his bar is full, before his icon glows, start grouping together so the safe zone will spawn directly protecting the whole team. You may also use your ultimates a little before he smashes down. After that, it's rinse and repeat to slay him. Gauge observation is very important for this lair, so you have to train yourself to observe it. Once you understand all these information, the lair will feel much easier to finish. I highly recommend having a saint on the team because majority of the lair hits hard. Even the Manticore itself deals passive damage with the whirlwinds. I'd like to thank and give a shout out to my guild leaders from Amori of Server 6. They really helped me compile this information so that I could share it all with everyone. If you like this video and want to see more, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you have suggestions for what guides you need, please let me know in the comments. Till next time, James signing out.